Oh, really, Joe? Is this how we're going to operate? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Joe Biden getting caught on a hot mic, cussing and fussing at Fox News' Peter Doocy. Now, Peter Doocy has a reputation at this point for asking Joe Biden questions that the general mainstream media are not going to ask him. They'll ask him softball questions. Hey, how was your ice cream? What flavor was it? How'd you like going back to Wilmington? What's it like sitting in the White House? Real basic, ridiculous stuff that doesn't even really matter. Why do I care about how he enjoys his stay at the White House? Why do I care about his favorite ice cream color? I don't. But what I do care about is things that actually impact the country. Okay, you're talking about foreign adversaries and or allies. You're talking about the price of gas. Inflation is an obvious problem. A lot of people are suffering as a result of that. So Peter Doocy asked about inflation, which is really, like I said, it's a practical question. I want to know about it. A lot of Americans want to know about it. But Joe Biden did not like that too tough and lashed out against him. Now, before I get into it, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you're going to see and hear what was said. Then you're going to see and or hear the follow-up to that. After we get done watching those two clips, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said there. Then I give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep detailed analysis. And then I wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
What do you think? Questions on inflation? Do you think inflation is a political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a...
I think the president should apologize by giving you 20 minutes uninterrupted one-on-one interview, and first Jen Psaki, she owes you 20 minutes too. I'm trying to negotiate on your behalf.
Hey, they keep calling on us at the briefing, and the president said nothing personal, pal. And so I think that's enough. That's enough.
Come on, man.
So we can move on. we can now move forward. There will be years, 3 to 7 years of opportunities to ask him about different stuff.
All right, you saw that, you heard that. Now, this is very interesting for a few reasons. The first reason is how the mainstream media are going to cover this and or not cover it, as always, because we know how it is with Trump. If Trump were to say something like this to a reporter, it'd be all over the papers, all over the internet, all over mainstream media. It'd be in the morning news, evening news, nightly news. For years, they would talk about it. But with Joe Biden, they leave it alone. Going back to what I said from the very beginning, they'll give him softball questions. Why? To protect him, to protect not only Joe Biden himself. It's not even really about him. It's about the Democratic Party. It's about these so-called progressive ideals. They're going to protect him for that purpose, right? So they would just totally ignore him cursing out a reporter. And he's done this before as well. Not necessarily the cursing part, but, you know, somebody asks a question and say, well, that's a stupid question. He does that. So it appears like Joe Biden is the guy that they said Trump was. Okay, remember the whole thing where Trump was talking about the athletes and stupid SOB or get the SOB off the field? Remember that? They played that back for months and weeks, if not years. They'll still talk about that right now as to why Trump should not be in office. Oh, he's mean and he cusses and all this and that. But look at your man, Joe Biden, okay, talking to a reporter that way. And Joe Biden, to get to my next interesting point, Joe Biden from the very beginning, from day one, said that he would not tolerate any disrespect of a colleague.
But I'm not joking when I say this. If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot.
There's a few things wrong with that. Have we seen anybody get fired from this administration? And there's been quite a few mishaps. There's been quite a few blunders. People, they leave, they resign. But is that the same thing as getting fired? Because when you get fired, there's something to that. When you get fired, it's like, okay, you're forcibly being kicked out. You got to get out right away. Ain't no negotiation. Like, okay, you can resign and it'll be quiet and it won't really be a big deal. No. That is not what should happen. You should get fired right away if you do something that is an infraction the same way he said from the very beginning on day one, January 20th, 2021. That's what he said he would do. That's not happened yet. And he's not going to fire himself, obviously, for mistreating colleagues, because if you're talking about the White House press corps, those are your colleagues, if not by the first degree, second degree, third degree of separation, something like that. Those are your colleagues, and see how you treat them, right? And then let's go to the whole thing about an apology, because I heard that made the news. I was watching the news earlier today, and they said that Joe Biden apologized to Peter Doocy, called him on the phone right afterward and apologized. But as you saw in that clip, that was no apology, talking about nothing personal, pal. It's kind of like, man, you tough, right? You all right, man. I ain't saying nothing to you that bad, man. You all right, man. Don't go on TV and cry. That's what I heard. What Peter Doocy said was, Joe Biden said nothing personal, pal. What I heard was, stop crying. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You be all right. You know, it's just like if you get beat up by somebody, let's say you have a sibling, okay, your older brother beat you up. You on the ground crying. You about 6 years old. You on the ground crying. Man, get up, man. You all right. You straight. You want something from the store? That's his way of trying to say, I'm sorry, but that's actually not saying I'm sorry. That's what Joe Biden did. And you want to know why he did that? Because he's not really sorry. He probably was told by his handlers, by his puppeteers, hey, man, they caught you on the hot mic talking about SOB to Peter Doocy. So you got to call him and you got to apologize, because he's going to go on TV and report whether you apologize or not. So you got to do it. It was like, hey, man, nothing personal, pal. It's all good. And they went back and forth on their phone call. I want to know what they said. 100%. And I like how Doocy stood his ground and was like, look, I'm going to ask questions that nobody else is asking. And of course, Biden said, well, you got to do that. That's your job. So if you know that, then why would you say something like, you stupid SOB? I mean, the guy's a nut job. He really is. And I saw this first on the Shade Room, which is one of these urban, quote unquote, urban Instagram pages. Big following, really big page. I'm active on there because I got to be everywhere just to spread this word, right? But anyway, people were laughing at it. A lot of black folks, ha, ha, ha. You know, we did it, Joe. You get him, Uncle Joe. It's like, what you laughing at, though? What you laughing at? That inflation is a real thing. People are struggling right now to pay their bills and eat and everything else. And you laughing. What's funny? Black folks always laughing when ain't nothing funny. A lot of these liberals doing the same thing. They laughing, but what's funny? Okay, that inflation is real. Like, if you don't have a lot of money, if you're just trying to make ends meet, it's going to get that much tougher. And this is what I said from the very beginning when you're talking about raising the minimum wage and things of that nature. I said this years ago, many years ago, because this is just common sense. When you artificially raise the cost of doing business, you're going to create inflation. So, okay, you got a raise to $50 an hour, but your cost of living went up to match it. Rent's going up, food going up, gas going up. Your monthly expenditures have risen. And depending upon where you live, they've risen exponentially. You live in California, forget about it. Try to buy a house in LA, San Francisco. Good luck. San Fran, you're not going to buy a house unless you are like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates. You could buy a house in San Francisco, maybe, if there's one available, because you have limited supply, because you got supply chain issues, you got real estate supply issues, you got all kind of issues going on at the same time. You have the virus being handled ridiculously, all these mandates and stupid things they got going on, which is furthering the whole staffing shortage in hospitals and everywhere else. You got all these problems that could be mitigated from the White House, from the federales, but yet you got folks laughing at this guy talking about stupid SOB. Just ridiculous, ignorant stuff going on. Even a lot of the leftists that voted for Joe Biden don't like what's happening. It's like, okay, you want to do all that, but what about my 401k? Look at the stock market. Look at how much things cost. I'm losing money in my 401k. My money that I have in savings has just totally decreased in value. Things are not going very well. So how about, rather than trying to cuss out reporters asking the good question, answer the question. Answer the question, because I had the same question too. A lot of people have the same question. And then go back to the Shade Room right quick as I close. to give them credit. A lot of people on there, a lot of black folks were saying, hey, man, that inflation is crazy, though. that inflation is crazy. So what's going on? And I think as we see more of that happen, people are going to wake up and be like, you know what? Maybe this guy is not who I thought he was. Maybe, just maybe, I need to go in a different direction the next time. And I believe it's going to be the case. Coming up here in the midterms, 2022, you're going to see a red wave. Same thing, 2024. These people are not doing a good job. They are feckless leaders, and they're going to get replaced ASAP. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Joe Biden said to Peter Doocy and the so-called apology that was not really an apology? Whatever your thoughts on any of those things are, please let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This guy, Joe Biden, is an embarrassment, not a good leader, not someone that I would ever vote for. I didn't vote for him this time. I would never vote for a guy like that. And I hope that these kind of incidents bring attention to politics and attention to guys like me and many others that are going to give you the reality of what's going on. This guy, the Democratic Party, these politicians, the establishment, they're not your friend at all. They're not your friend. They're worried about themselves and their family and their future. But what about you? You are secondary to whatever they want for themselves. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.